Hi, hello. My name is Giovanni, and we are dissecting a cow eye today. And I have my good friend Sean, who's my roommate at UCLA, and thankfully he's here to help me with the dissection process. And as he's dissecting it, since if I tried to dissect it, I would probably destroy the whole thing. So he's gonna do the cutting, and I'm going to do the explanations and of the different eye components and the functional implications that they imply. And then while we are dissecting a cow eye, I will discuss different, like medical conditions and associated with the human eye, just to keep that in mind. Okay, so the first thing I noticed right off the bat is that the cow eye is huge, which is good, which helps in aiding in the dissection so that we can actually see what we're doing. Oh, and then just so you know, I am using this magnification device to assist me in seeing the eye up close with a closed circuit camera. All right. So the first thing that we have here on the eye, surrounding it entirely, is the muscle. And the muscle is pink and white, and it protects the eye and keeps it in its place inside of the eye socket and gives the cow eye its movement. So human eyes actually have 6 muscles that allow it to move in virtually every direction. You can almost do circles with your eyes. The cow eye, however, only has 4 muscles which allow it to move laterally and vertically, left, right, up, and down. Okay, and so we will now remove the fat that surrounds the cow eye.
It's a little more solid than the one in the video.
Oh. Maybe I should have popped it in the microwave.
It's so tough.
Do you need a bigger scissors?
Might be able to.
Agarra las tijeras de allá,
¿Cuál es?
de las que usamos para cortar papel.
¿Papel? Do you
Ahí
think?
va, ahí va.
Oh, okay, okay.
Slowly, slowly.
Ew, it does smell. Ugh. Reminds me of
Las máscaras se fueron allá.
7th grade.
Yes. Formaldehyde.
Thank you for your patience, folks. We'll be right with you.
Just sawing through with these tiny little scissors.
Well, this is part of them. It's part of the process.
Yes. Okay, got most of it.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, looking at the eyeball this way here, this part, and if I place it under my handy dandy video magnifier, looks to me like it is the cornea. And the cornea is a protective layer of the eye that allows light to enter. It's clear. And it also refracts light as it enters. Now, any kind of abrasion or corneal scarring or irregularity in its shape would cause distortion in vision, poor acuity, or even, what's it called? Astigmatism. So let's go ahead and remove the cornea, and it feels a little hard, I guess, like a little bit. Makes sense since it's supposed to protect the eye. And as he cuts through the cornea, we may have some aqueous humor come out, and the aqueous humor is a liquid that helps maintain the shape of the eye with its the globe shape.
You can see it's coming out.
Oh, the goop?
Yeah, the goop.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
The aqueous humor, everybody. And almost like a water balloon, it's going to lose its shape.
This would be easier with a scalpel, I think. These scissors are not very sharp.
Oh dear, we're attracting flies now.
Okay. So I cut around the cornea.
Oh, okay.
So now we'll do the sclera.
Okay, so the cornea is out, and looking at the eye, I can see inside there is a white portion, and the white portion of the eye is known as the sclera. And as we move forward with the dissection, we will move into the iris of the eye.
Oh, I have to cut all the fat off, huh?
Probably.
They're just not sharp. It's so hard. Please cut. Okay, fine.
Oh no.
Okay. Go around.
Hey, they need to do this business serious, you know? Don't play with them. Estamos en un experimento.
I don't know how to get it off without tearing it all apart.
Just take
Wow.
your time, you know, it's a surgery, so you need to do it slowly,
Yes.
step by step.
So while he continues the dissection, I'll give some information regarding to the iris. The iris is actually a muscle of the eye, which gives the pupil the ability to contract and expand depending on light conditions. So if there is a lot of light outside or in a brightly lit environment, the iris will allow the pupil, which we'll get to in a second, to open up, allowing more light to enter, kind of like the camera lens. And if the environment is darker, or maybe it's nighttime, the iris will contract, allowing the pupil to close up, expand to allow the pupil to open up and allow more light to enter, helping us see more clearly. Some people might have a condition known as aniridia, which is the absence of the iris in the eye. And when this occurs, there could often be associated with a lot of photophobia or sensitivity to light, acuity of about 20 to 200 or worse, and other health complications as well. So the iris is a very important muscle in the eye. And fun fact, the iris is also where you get your eye color from. Black, green, blue, brown, hazel. Any other eye colors I'm missing? Gray? It's gray in eye color.
Yeah. Green? Yeah, you said green.
I said green.
Coming along, just taking time. Okay, so which part is next?
So I already discussed the iris.
Iris,
So the iris would be,
You kind of see the black part around.
Ew. Let me turn this on again.
Oh, it's okay.
Carambas. There we go. Oh yeah, so the iris is the part here that encircles the pupil, which is the little dot. The little dot in the middle where light enters towards the back of the eye.
Okay. And now I cut it in half. Or
I think so.
that's what this guide is telling me to do.
Oh, okay.
Here's the lens coming out.
Okay. So as this eyeball falls apart, oh my.
That's the lens.
This is the lens of the cow eye. Doesn't look very clear, but it's probably just dirty. I'm actually very impressed. So this lens feels very hard, almost like a piece of glass. And what's interesting to note about the lens is it's typically hard on the inner part and softer on the outer part. And this gives the lens the ability to bend according to how the eye is focusing. So when you're reading, the lens will bend a certain way. When you're focusing on something far away, the lens will bend a certain way. And it allows us to see. And oftentimes as you get older, if you develop cataracts, the lens will be removed and replaced with an artificial lens that does not have the same abilities to bend, meaning that most people will have to use glasses with bifocals to assist in the focusing of distance and far viewing. Oh, what happened? Am I dripping it? Okay.
No, es que lo tienes tapado, no se mira. Estás hablando, pero lo tienes con los dedos.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
And also, the lens, as light enters through the lens, it gets focused again and is actually upside down. It's actually upside down, but then the retina, which we'll get to in a bit, will reinterpret the imagery and turn it right side up for us. Okay, we'll just put the lens right here. There we go.
Okay, so we got more vitreous humor here.
So now we're reaching the vitreous humor, which is the liquid composed of water and protein. And the vitreous humor helps give the eye its shape. And it also, most significantly, holds the retina against the back wall of the eye, which is very important since the retina is arguably one of the most important components of the eye.
You made it look so easy in the video, but
Well,
It's
she does it for a living.
And she has a very sharp scalpel. That's what I'm struggling with. But it's okay. Maybe if I go from either side. I'm just gonna try to tear it a little bit so you can see. Okay, well, here's some of the iris.
Still?
I think so. That's the
Let's
black
see.
part. Or the iris is the black area that the lens sits on. Oh, I see. I think I was supposed to cut it. Sorry. This way. So that's where I made a mistake.
Well, I'm just enjoying feeling the iris. Very interesting texture. For
It's
sure.
supposed to be a lateral cut. That makes more sense because it's definitely easier. Yeah. More.
So here comes more vitreous humor coming out. Ooh, look at that.
Or there's
And it's-
aqueous humor or vitreous?
And no, aqueous humor is in the front of the eye,
okay.
and vitreous humor is in the back. And it's more of a thick jelly-like consistency, which, if you feel here, it feels like gelatin almost. It's a gel-like clear liquid that allows light to pass through while holding the retina in place.
Okay. I think I might have messed up the iris
That's okay.
with the.
We
Okay, so the iris and the pupil we already talked about.
yeah. So we're reaching towards the retina now,
Okay.
which would be in the back.
Yes, and that's the one that's got some. It's kind of iridescent, like how they were talking about how it reflects.
Oh,
off the
the
back of the eye. Is that-
iridescentness, the tapetum.
Oh, okay,
The tapetum is all the way in the back,
got it.
but
Okay,
yeah.
so the retina. What's the next page? Okay, so that's just this.
Okay.
So do you want to talk about the retina?
Oh yes. So as we
blind
pull
spot?
the retina out, the retina is the part. It's a thin tissue that sits in the very back of the eye, and it is composed of millions of cells known as cones and rods. There are about 6 million cones in the human eye, and they are responsible for the ability to see color and fine detail, and about 120 to 130 million rods, which allow us to see light and perceive motion. And if you have conditions like cone dystrophy or retinitis pigmentosa, it may start to affect your ability to see color and acuity as well. And so the retina, when folded or wrinkled, if that becomes prevalent, would cause vision to be distorted. And it is attached by a single point to the back of the eye. And where that point is, where it attaches, is the natural blind spot.
Cool.
And the retina, just so we kind of finish off here, the retina becomes the optic nerve, and the optic nerve is the kind of passageway that carries the electrical impulses created by the light in the retina that are passed through the optic nerve with the fibers that are then interpreted by the brain that gives us the imagery that we see on a daily basis. In the very back, we kind of touched on it earlier a little bit, the tapetum. The tapetum is in the very back, and it is the color of the back of the eye is lighter. It's not black like the human eye is, because the human eye helps to absorb light. But cows' eyes have a lighter colored back, which allow light to reflect out of the eye, giving them greater visibility in nightly conditions. Okay, I think that's everything. Thank you for joining us on this eyeball dissection. I'll be turning in my resume for the exploratorium, so look out for that. And props to my dad for being the cameraman. And all right.
Yeah, sorry for the hack job, but that's not his fault. That's on me.
Yeah. All right, let's go have some steak.